What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Random to Rank 1. Now, as you can see, a couple of things have changed. First of all, we have enough games to be promoted to Grandmaster, so here we are. And besides that, we are freaking Rank 2. Now, in these last couple days that I've been a little sick, I have been having a lot of passion to ladder, and I've been winning a lot of games, so now we're Rank 2 Grandmaster. Now, we're not quite there yet at Rank 1. Our ROR is 5.9k. I think the last time we did a video was about 5.5. As you can see, we need 150 more MMR, though I do want to say, if we get rank 1 in this scenario, I'm not going to be finished yet because some players in the preparation for DreamHack Atlanta, the last big tournament, they did drop out of Grandmaster. I think I won't be completely content until we reach about 6.2k MMR because that would be the true rank 1, like a consistent rank 1, and I would be pretty happy with that. Now, I do quickly want to say something else, guys. I had some horrible losses recently. I lost pretty horribly in the $500,000 qualifier. I lost pretty horribly in yesterday's ESL Cup. And something I've noticed is that those losses are very, very important to me. Sometimes I was wondering, how did I ever become so good? Like, where did the drive, where did the motivation come from? And even though yesterday's loss felt horrible, not because it was a super important tournament or anything like that, but it was just such a bad loss that I was very, very frustrated. But what happens to me is that I just... I get really fueled up. So this is what happened right after that. I played an entire tournament. In fact, I played 2 tournaments yesterday, and I lost horribly. I get really frustrated. So what happens? I put on some nice emo rock music and grind 7 games, and I play the best 7 games that I've played yet, including beating the rank 1 Terran here. So I guess for me, if I'm going to think about getting back to being like a pro-level player, maybe it doesn't even matter how long I practice or what I study. Maybe I just need to experience more horrible losses. Right now, it feels like I'm 10 horrible losses away from being back to being pro level, so maybe I should just keep getting those. Anyway, that's enough talking for now. Let's begin. All right, the first game of the day is against a Grandmaster Protoss called Jin. And now I do just want to say, just to, continue with that last statement that I did. Oh yeah, I changed colors. For some reason, I felt like playing with blue. Mostly because it fits really well with Protoss, so I guess we're going to have to wait until I get Protoss. But I just want to say that I always knew that losses were very, very important. For me personally, it always felt, it feels really good to win. Like, it's just kind of a confirmation that you have what it takes to beat that specific opponent. But it's also very easy to get complacent and kind of stop accepting challenges. But whenever you lose, you do definitely learn a bit more. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but take it from me, who was a pro gamer for a long time, and I'm now still pretty high up on the ladder. There's nothing better to improve than losing. And, first of all, trying to realize why you lost, so analyzing the replay is always good. But it's not even just that, it's also just the drive. It's like your system is just trying to... tell you like, okay, let's make sure that never happens again. So you're just going like ultra instinct and, play your absolute best. Especially when you partner it up with some nice emo rock music. Absolutely works the best. Now let's see, we're playing a ZVP here. I have been pretty confident in my link drops. I still want to make my proxy hatches a little bit better against Protoss, and I saw yesterday in the ESL Cup that I played, in the semifinals was a ZVP of Wayne against Jishi. And Wayne is a really good Zerg player. I think he's probably, what is he, like he's probably like the top 5 Zerg player in Europe, right? Below the big 4, I suppose. But he did a lot of proxy hatches. Now, he did lose the match. So I don't want to like just blindly copy it and be like, okay, this has to be good, because maybe his builds were not that great. But I don't think I'm too bold to assume that he probably does it better than me, since I'm not that great at it yet, and he's a really good Zerg player. So maybe I could have a look at those games and try to copy it. Especially because the only way you can consistently proxy hatch is by building it in the natural. And the main reason is because otherwise, like, it's too bad on maps that have ramps like this. Like, if I'm going to spine rush, there's just not enough space, really. Like, you can make like a spine rush work, or maybe like roaches or something, but it's just not quite good enough for the most part. So I do want to learn how to do a proper proxy hatch straight on the natural. Oh, he kept his probe around here for too long, so he is going to be losing that probe, which is really nice. Probes are pretty hard to kill with Zerglings. I've been surprised by this many times. Like, if you're going to try to chase it across the map with 2 slow links, you're actually not going to get it, which really surprised me. I always thought Zerglings would, definitely catch up to a probe and kill it, right? But no, they actually do not. Now, we are playing against a core before Nexus, it seems like, because that core is incredibly fast. Exactly, there's an Adept already. I'm just going to run past it. I mean, it's not like I can do anything against it with my couple Zerglings. But I'm going to get... I think I made 4 Zerglings initially, so those should be able to ward off the Adept first of all. That is quite nice. Let's see. He's going to wall this off fully, which is going to take him a little bit of money. I guess he's trying to check for a third base, which is definitely not there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to be able to kill that pretty soon. I need to make one extra set of Zerglings. Let's not forget that. Because if I don't, I'm not going to have enough because I did lose one set. Normally, I don't lose one set. Here we go. He might try to recall that. Yeah, he's going to try to recall. I actually... You know, it's usually worth it to do that, I think, like money-wise. But the thing here is, guys, he might not be able to chrono boost like his Stargate unit now. And that sounds like a massive deal. Like, I think I'm going to miss 2 Zerglings because I'm going to have to go in before. But I feel like not being able to chrono boost a Stargate unit is definitely a pretty big deal, right? So I'm going to attack at the front with these. Already starting up my Overlords. And let's see. Okay, so he sees this now. Maybe I can even run in. I kind of doubt he still has a full wall. Yeah, exactly. I could just run in now. He has a couple units. Oh, I barely wasn't able to get the surround on those. That's unlucky. And yeah, that's pretty much what I predicted, guys. He's not going to be able to chrono boost that. I'm going to wait for the... Okay, there we go. He turns it on, and then I have to run away. He pulled a lot of workers that he didn't have to pull, so that could be another little benefit for me. Basically, I was wondering, is he not attacking that? Oh, I think I can actually escape with this one, right? Normally, if there's a Stalker, you always have to drop them out early. But this time, it looks like we're actually going to get away. I am going to drop them slowly, so if it dies, I can at least... Exactly. I can save a couple of these, which is going to be nice. Because there's one Oracle. Wait, I already have enough drones. Oh my goodness, all right. I've gotten better and better at this build over time, you know? Like, I used to always struggle with the amount of workers. I used to play 44 drones, by the way. But I've evolved this build to being just 41 because I realized you only need 3 gases for this. Especially because you also want to add Zerglings and stuff, right? Like, you don't only want to make Hydras. You also want to make some Zerglings and whatnot. So I'm going to get 1 Hydra over here. I'll pick 1 Hydra over here as well. Let's make sure to queue the range upgrade so I don't forget that later on. I do kind of want to get, what's it called? Overlord speed as well. I feel like Overlord speed is quite nice as a potential follow-up, right? Like, let's say he's gonna defend in his natural, not try to take a third base. I feel like he could have killed those for sure. Yeah, exactly. He was a little bit too scared there. Maybe I have a couple more Hydras here. You might not realize how many Hydras there actually are here. Let's see if I can get one. Barely not. I lost 2 drones, so I'm just gonna remake those instantly. And now I'm gonna be able to kill this Oracle, I think, if I micro properly. Exactly. There we go. And that is definitely quite nice for me. And now I'm gonna go across already. Let's remake 1 more drone. I always want to... You know, this is something that I've... Wait, where's my queen? Oh, there it is. This is something I've learned with Zerg. It's cool to see, because if you watched my last ESL Cup video, you would see that I definitely have some pretty big problems with Protoss. And with Protoss, my main problem is that... Oh, he's actually going to go in again. That kind of surprised me. My main problem is that I don't deal with the harassment. Oh, can I get that? No, I'm not going to get it. I don't deal with the harassment. How do I put this? Like, strongly enough, I suppose. So instead of dealing with the harassment, I just kind of tend to go for it. With Zerg, the biggest thing that I do well now is that I just make sure to actually rebuild the drones instantly. Oh, we're gonna kill that Stalker. Oh, that's so nice. He sent everything back into the main base. It does look... Oh, he's going for charge. Oh, no, I thought it was going to be a death, but he's going to go for charge, which means that my Hydras can kill the units. And look at this. His Zealots are actually dying on the other side of the wall. This is brutal. I feel like his strategy is really good against mine, where he has, like, the freaking charge lots really fast. But he doesn't have them ready yet, and he's still at a wall up, so I can just kill him from the other side. And he's just going to get absolutely obliterated here. Oh, my God. This strategy is freaking broken this game, didn't it? Like, I realistically... I didn't do that much damage. Like, he killed more workers than me. I killed oh, actually, even now. I was going to say I probably cut up in this little segment here. But even now, he killed more workers than me. And I opened with a freaking 2-base link drop. He was also just on 2 bases defending. And he still got absolutely destroyed. Like, I really think this strategy is super strong. This is my best Zerg strategy by far. I mean, pretty logical because I did beat that semi-pro Protoss player in Europe with it, right? A 6K plus player who has 6.2 sometimes. But here, it looked even more broken than normal. And I think this just shows how much better I've gotten it. Like, it's all very clean. I get my double upgrades. I make the right amount of drones. I rebuild the drones. As you can see here, I'm just... Oh, I did miss one, actually. But I'm back up at 40. If I didn't remake the drones like I normally would, I would be at 33, which is a lot weaker. But I'm very happy with this fantastic warm-up game. Let's keep it going. Game number 2 is against a Zerg player. Now, I was just getting ready for this game, and then my cat freaking broke into the room. Like, I have like this studio with a closed door, and somehow my cat actually managed to push open the door. I didn't even know that was possible, but I guess she is now keeping me company. If she jumps up on the desk at some point, you guys will have the honor to acquaint with Nova. Now let's see. We're playing Terran against Zerg. Always nice. Hey guys, we played 2 games without getting Protoss. That's crazy. Oh no, I jinxed it. That's my bad. Okay, what should I do, guys? I have been having a lot of fun with my 1-base Hell Battle, but as you guys know, I do like to keep the variety. At some point, I always stick to certain builds because I just like them the most, like the freaking Link Jump into Hydra, for example, against both Terran and Protoss. But my Terran should be, you know, still the best of my 3 races, so I feel like I can have a little more variety here. I actually talked about this a little bit on stream. Alright, I wanted to talk about the Cyclone in general, actually. So, when the Cyclone got changed, I think my initial assessment of how strong it was going to be was something along the lines of it's going to absolutely suck against Protoss. In TVT, it's probably going to be useful, you know, in the early game. Like, it's going to be pretty good in the early game. And then in TVZ, I wasn't sure. I thought it was probably not going to be that great, but it'd be all right. Now, I think in some way that actually flipped a little bit. So, I was watching DreamHack Atlanta, right, where the best Terrans in the world were playing. And I wonder if you guys can guess the matchup where they're actually the most used in. It is TVT. Like, TVT, a lot of them play a lot of Cyclones all the time. Then I was right about it against Protoss. Against Protoss, they're just pretty awful. Like, I don't know. Even like those early game cheeses and stuff, like, it's, I guess if you play against someone who doesn't scout, it's alright, but against Protoss, it really sucks. And then Zerg is kind of more what I thought TVT would be, where they're pretty good in the early game. Like, sometimes you can make to like hunt overlords and whatnot, stuff like that. But besides that, not that great. But, or well, people play them in macro games, but I still really don't think it's as good as Bio. But TVT being the matchup where the Cyclone is the best out of the 3, I did not see that coming, you know, so that is pretty cool. But anyway, what I talked about on stream was that I kind of want to learn how to play Cyclones against Zerg and Terran both in the macro games. And the biggest reason I want to do that is because it's, like, how do I put this? It's a little bit of a dumber playstyle. I don't know what word to put there, you know. Like, it's very simple, I suppose. It's a very simple playstyle. You don't need to think that much. And if I'm playing random, right, I have 9 matchups to deal with. Having like 1 or 2 matchups where I can do a style that I'm just confident and I can use my mechanics without having to think that much, that's a pretty big benefit, to be honest. Because if I have to think my absolute maximum for every single matchup, it's yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty smart, but I'm also not a freaking supercomputer, right? So that would be pretty freaking challenging. Now, how do I want to do that in this game? I want to play Cyclones in the long game, but I do want to open with something a little cheesy. I want to build that is like super good as a rush and has a good transition into Cyclones. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. I'm gonna go for a starport 2 bases before taking my 3rd for sure. My opponent is just not taking a 3rd base, which is super weird, by the way, for Zerg. Zerg should definitely have another base by now, so it's a good time for me to just get a little bit of a deep scout going. I'm gonna scout the main here first. I think I'm gonna start 2 Cyclones already. Yeah, exactly, that's why. Because I had a feeling it was either gonna be a lair or roaches. No, oh wait, I'm gonna do a little bit of a dirty trick here. I'm gonna run 2 Hellions around. Very often, if you play against... Can I juke this? Oh, barely not. If you play against someone making roaches, what happens is that they don't make a lot of Zerglings. This guy actually has link speed, so I'm not quite sure if that's gonna be the case this time. But a lot of time they don't make that many Zerglings, they just make roaches, and roaches are not going to be good at defending Hellions, so I'm just going to run by these 2 Hellions into his base. That's a really good scout, by the way. Now we can see that he was actually planning to, you know, actually take another base. And, well, he actually has no drones here at all. Okay, this is more committed than it looks like for someone that is about to take a 3rd base, I suppose. I mean, I haven't taken any damage from this yet. He was so busy defending at home that he hasn't done anything here. I think he lost those Zerglings. And now... I think we're just in a really good position, to be honest. Now, I need to make sure to not overcommit here. I'm going for a really weird freaking Marauder Cyclone combination. Maybe it's a vibe. Like, who knows? I did this to defend, but maybe it's a vibe. Check this out. I'm going to make 6 Cyclones, medevac, a couple Marauders, and then I'll rally Hellions behind. I think I could even make an armory here, actually. Now, this is like... This looks like a really messed up version of the Penguin Brothers, doesn't it? Like, instead of a Hellbat Viking, we have Cyclone Marauder, and then we're gonna make a Hellbats after. Something like that is what this is gonna be. I do need to start my gases already if I do want to transition into Cyclones. One thing that could be nice about the Cyclone style, I haven't actually tested this theory, but I do think it might be a really good style to play when you're ahead. Because it's harder to make, like, big mistakes. Like, if you play Bio... if you get 20 Marines hit by 2 Bailings or something like that, then yeah, I mean, obviously you can just be out of the game entirely, right? But if you're playing Cyclones, well, you can get caught by a big fungal, I suppose, but that's already later into the game. If your opponent has fungals, they probably have stabilized already, I suppose. So this sounds like a pretty good strategy to play when you're ahead. Now look at, oh my, this attack looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It's really weird, but it's also very cool. Okay, let's see if we can actually do something with this. I'm gonna have, at least if my next Hellions catch up, I will have 4 Hellbats. I feel like 4 Hellbats should be enough to deal with, well, not any amount of links, but, you know, for the most part, we should be able to deal with links, I think. Got a second medevac as well. I didn't even realize that I built that. Oh, he's making drones? I'm not. Are you sure about that, my friend? I'm not sure if you want to be building drones right now. Gonna make a second armory as well, because that's what you have to do with Cyclones. Let's see what I can kill here, guys. Those Hellbats are gonna be... Oh my god, I think he was just super greedy. Look at these freaking Hellbats now. The Hellbats are a little bit too far in the back, so they didn't tank entirely. I almost dropped an accidental mule in his base. I mean, like, the Hellbats are actually doing super well. Look at this. My Cyclones are getting to do all the damage they want. Need to make sure that I don't get these Cyclones in the front here, though. The slow on the Marauders is also super nice. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this guy's just getting annihilated. I do have to say... it looked slightly weaker than I expected, which sounds crazy because we are killing the guy, right? But it looked slightly weaker than I expected because with how greedy he was being, I thought we wouldn't even lose a single unit. So let's not get too confident in this strategy yet. I definitely mismicroed a little bit. I'm not quite sure. I pressed the wrong hotkey or something because instead of... I was going to do some kind of micro. I don't know what it was, but I was going to do some kind of micro, and instead I almost dropped a mule on his face. So I was definitely pressing some wrong buttons there. I guess it's a nice second warm-up game, right? But yeah, I could have executed it better. But it might not be the strongest timing attack ever. We'll have to test that later on. The follow-up, however, looks very nice, right? Like I'm already up at 3 what's it called? 3 factories, 2 armories. This is a very desperate counterattack that's realistically not going to do very much, and instead I'm just going to go ahead and kill them. Sounds fair enough, right? If he wants to waste his army, his limited army that he has by running them into my base, I'm just going to go ahead and kill his... Well, yeah, not even just his base. I'm going to try to kill everything. Yo, look at these 3. Without these Hellbats, this wouldn't even be that good of a trade, you know? But those 2 Hellbats actually just freaking popped off. And there we go. Wait, why is he now a different color all of a sudden? You see that? Why is he pink, and then he's yellow here, and then he's... You know, sometimes I feel like it's so incredibly confusing the way the colors work. I feel like you guys have got confused with the supply a lot as well. Because now, the Zerg is blue, but I was blue. Right? It's just because there's like, you see, there's like these colors. And my opponent's supposed to be pink, but because he left, he's now considered neutral, so now he's yellow. So you guys have seen him be 3 different colors, which is just, I feel like that's very, very confusing. But anyway, this was a pretty brutal game. I do have to say, his build just didn't work out at all. Like, we got really far ahead from the early game. I can't really judge this style or strategy from this game. I guess it was just, you know, it does show that Cyclones are good at defending stuff. That's something we already knew. Like, if they go for an early attack, even if you don't want to play Cyclone style, it could be pretty good to make Cyclones yourself, as long as it doesn't impede your economy too much. Like, you still want to make sure to make a 3rd base and stuff, but still, it was a very nice game. Let's go to game number 3. All right, game number 3 is against the same Grandmaster Protoss of game number 1, and we're playing on Hecate. Let's see if we get... Oh, we did get Protoss. All right, 1 of each race. That is fantastic. Now, I have a couple strategies now with Protoss that I'm starting to get better at. There's actually one strategy that I want to learn. In the last big European regional, there was a Protoss player called Christianer who got top 8. And Christianer is not typically considered to be a top 8 level player. He's more of like a top 16, top 24 kind of guy, but he mostly got there by playing PvP. And he beat a lot of really good Protoss players with a very specific style. And it did seem like a style that would fit me a little bit. It's like, I guess the best way to explain it is kind of like, let's see, playing mass bio with Terran, with medevacs, without attacking into like Ghost or Vikings or stuff like that, right? So you're just playing like a lot of gateway units, and you're just clicking them everywhere all the time, and you have like so many units to outplay with. You do have to play a little bit greedy early on, and make sure to take this gas before he takes it from me. I haven't really studied the build, but it is a style I really wanted to learn. It's just, it seems a little crazy playing like Mass Zealot Stalker, even when you're going up against, you know, bigger units like, let's say, Immortals or Archons or whatever, just like Mass Zealot Stalker and sending them everywhere. Then I guess at some point, if you are really rich, you can always transition further. But that is a strategy that seemed really cool. Now, wait on a second, guys. We played against this guy in game number 1. We played against him with Zerg, right? But I'm pretty sure that I could have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he walled on the low ground, didn't he? So did I just scare him off that bad by playing Zerg against him? Or like why exactly is he? Like, I feel like if you wall like this, like if I was Zerg, he would be in so much freaking trouble, you know? Like he'd be in so much trouble. I still really enjoy seeing how freaking scared people get playing against random. Like it's just, people are not used to it. Like it's just freaking weird. Like they don't know where to wall. They change it up every single game. It's awesome. Now I did double chrono boost my probes, which is a little unusual, I think. But I guess it's just like another experiment here. I could chrono boost my warp gate one time. I'm also gonna make a pylon on the low ground here. Now, how do I scout properly? Now we are getting in territory a little bit where I'm just not as familiar, because I need to know if he's cheesing me or not. But since I'm not that used to playing normal Protoss games, I don't really know how to do that. That's the thing. Like, I'm not quite sure how I can detect that nothing too weird is going on. Guess I could look around my base a little bit with these stalkers. I'm going for 1 sentry only because I do remember that that's the build he did. He just made 1 sentry for the hallucination, and then he got the Nexus up already. I imagine that I could probably go for a battery. Okay, that's what I thought. I think I'm gonna... Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to make a battery here because I'm not 100% sure of what he's going to do. I'm not going to be able to use this force field, really, but that's okay. Let's see if I don't get to use this force field. Let's see if I can out-micro him a little bit. I probably should have started another set of stalkers. And then after this, I'm supposed to just go for a Twilight Council, but maybe I should wait for the Hallucination Scout to kick in. Right? I feel like I'm being very greedy here, but I guess we're gonna find out. Either painful or not. Okay, Hallucination should come online now. There we go. And then I'm just gonna scout whatever is going on his side of the map. I think I'm already gonna start the Twilight. I just feel like if we're getting all in now, then it's gonna be extremely scary, right? But doesn't seem like it is the case for now. I do have a lot of freaking probes. I guess I can always just make, more stalkers. Okay, so it looks like he's just playing a very civilized. Okay, so he played... All right, so he made the Twilight even before me. Okay, so he played without a sentry. That seems a little bit on the greedy side as well. Okay, well, I guess we'll just try to greed back up. I could also always make more probes, or I could simply wait. My Nexus is faster than his. My Nexus is faster, but his Twilight's faster. I could make more probes, or we're gonna get a Stalker maybe. Or I could go for a third base a little faster. Those are both pretty reasonable options, I think. This 1 sentry is just going to help me to keep scouting forever. Now, I also need to check the third base at some point. I do feel pretty safe like this. The only thing is I don't have detection. I mean, I very clearly remember player Christianer not making detection either. So I suppose we are just fully committed to playing ultra greedy right now. Like, that's just, the stage we're at. I'm not going to make my pylon here next time because it's annoying me a little bit how poorly these guys are mining. I'm even skipping a couple stalkers for this. Because how can you play without detection? I feel freaking naked right now, guys. Like, how I just, I know I have a good scout with the sentry, but if he would, attack me with DTs right now, I would just die. I wouldn't have anything whatsoever. I mean, I guess if you scout well enough, you should always realize what's going on. So I guess that's, one argument for that. And I think I'm supposed to start a forge and then... maybe like 2 more gateways or so. What the hell are you doing? Maybe like 2 more gateways. It doesn't really look like I need a lot of gases at all, right? So there's no third base yet. That's always a little surprising. Let's see. He's just making a forge. He's making a robo as well. So I'm definitely out-greeding him. Let's see. He's making 2 sentries. He doesn't have gases. Looks like he has this third base, right? I mean, I kind of assume that he does. Never going to be 100%, but I do kind of assume that he does. Now, do I make charge already? You don't really need to. I'm pretty sure you don't really have to. That's the thing. Wait, should I just stay on 2 gases forever? I guess maybe that's even kind of the way you play it as well. Just staying on 2 gases forever. Like, if I'm only going to warp Zealots and Stalkers, then I might as well not make that many gases, right? I should probably get a battery here as well. I do really like making like, the sentries are freaking nice, aren't they? Just like, you're getting like free scouts all the time. That's actually awesome. I think I'm going to go for 2-1 upgrades, by the way. I think I'm going to make a second forge like halfway through this upgrade. That seems pretty fair. I'm gonna try to go towards my 4th base already as well. Like, I know it all seems crazy, but this is really what I remember from how he plays. Like, no robo, just straight into the forge. Here, I'm gonna make a 2nd forge now already as well. I wonder if I could, like, hold an attack even. Like, keep in mind, I didn't even see... oh, that's Elucidated Phoenix. He's gonna see a 2nd forge now. Is that gonna force him to attack? Wouldn't surprise me if it did, to be honest. Now, I do have a pretty decent amount of supply for the time in game already, so that's quite nice. Here, my 3rd base is saturated because I'm not taking any gases, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and take my 4th base. Probably could have chrono boosted my probes a little more. Let's see. So my opponent here, I was gonna say teammate for a second because kind of feels like we're playing the same stuff. My opponent also doesn't have gases whatsoever. So I guess maybe this is just normal. I don't know. He's gonna see at this moment that I do not have, or he saw that I didn't have a robo, so he could go for reactive DTs. I think maybe we should just get a cannon in each mineral line or something. I feel like that wouldn't be too crazy. Okay, so now I'm gonna go up to 8 gateways. Yeah, I am gonna make a cannon every mineral line. I think that is just a very sensible thing to do here. Next to some batteries as well. There we go. A cannon everywhere. Start warping in some zealots. I think maybe I should have, like, pressured a little bit more. If you look at my money, it is all being spent very well. So that's pretty great to see. I do need to make sure I make enough pylons and stuff. I'm very surprised at how passive he's playing. I really thought we would have to deal with getting attacked non-stop playing this greedy. But instead, it just kind of feels like my opponent's doing the same stuff as me. Let's see, how many probes do I really need? You don't need that many probes if you're not going to make gases, right? Like, do you guys think I really need a lot of probes with this? I want to say probably not. Now, what I'm doing here, guys, playing like this, instead of going for a hardcore cheese, is definitely very important for my growth as a random player. I need to be able to play at least, like, one, like, macro style, you know, per matchup even, which is... That is 9 matchups, so that is a lot to ask, I know, but I definitely think that is important. Okay, so he's taking his base now. Let's see, he has +1 upgrades, so... Could be the same as me as well. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a 5th base. Man, this is so much different from the PvP when I was a Protoss player. Like, when I was a Protoss player, you would just sit on 2 bases and make a million Colossus. And that was really, like, pretty much all you were doing. Wait, I did get charged, right? Yeah, I did, okay. That was really pretty much just all you were doing all the time. Now, I think my supply looks pretty freaking crazy. I wonder if I could get... Wait, oh, no. Wait, I'm gonna get a prison. He must be like, wait, what the hell? Are you a map hacker? Yeah, I have to admit, that definitely looked a little weird. What I wanted to do, without these zealots, I wanted to just attack his 4th and attack his 3rd base with these 3 stalkers. That's pretty much my entire plan here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna blink to the side. He has a couple of force fields. Yo, my army is freaking massive compared to his. I even have a Guardian Shield over here. Yo, why is my army so much bigger? Did I just... Is playing greedy actually just the way? Oh my goodness, guys. My army is freaking gigantic, isn't it? I really need to get these warpins of rapid fire, by the way. All right, well... That was probably the most anticlimactic game you guys have seen in a while. And I don't think it was really my fault. I guess I just played it very well. But look at this. Like, his 4th was way later. I'm up 20 supply. I didn't do anything this game. I feel like normally you're definitely supposed to pressure. And judging by this, by the way, if I have to adapt this, I think at some point we do get a robo. We just have to get a 3rd and 4th gas. Maybe... yeah, I think I got it. I mean, I'm kind of just guessing, but calculating, I think I got it. As soon as you take the 4th base, I think you add 2 more gases, because then you can start the upgrades and you can make a robo for observers. Could have added these extra gates a little faster, but this seems like a pretty good style. The next time I won't play it 100% defensive. I'll try to, like, go out and make some plays happen. But I'm actually quite happy with this, because this is my first attempt playing like this. We're playing against the pretty good mid-Grandmaster Protoss, and we made it happen flawlessly. Like, this was a landslide victory. My opponent was making Immortals. Do notice how he has a lot more probes. And okay, here you can see the difference. He had 6 gases against 2. That's why his 4th was later. That's why I'm up so much supply. He has more probes. That is probably something that I don't know. It's just I don't really need them. Look at my bases. Do I need more probes? Every base is perfectly saturated, literally. Perfect saturation. Only this one has 1 probe too many. Definitely like this style. Gonna have to make it a little more active, a little better, but a fantastic first attempt. Let's go for game number 4. All right, the 4th game is going to be against a Barcode Terran. Now, what sucks about being this high MMR, guys, is that I need to win an incredible amount of games, you know, compared to how many I lose to actually keep climbing. I just lost like 50 MMR because I for some reason decided to go for a Nexus first against a Zerg, and he 12 pulled me. Now I can confirm to you guys that game was definitely not interesting enough to show, because there was just absolutely nothing I could have done. But it did teach me to not go Nexus first anymore, so I guess that is a lesson that we have learned. I don't like that, because I really like the idea of going Nexus first, because people technically shouldn't really be cheesing me, right? But for some reason, Zergs have been 12 pulling me a lot, so I guess we just have to, you know, learn from that and not do Nexus first again. And let's see, we're playing as the Barcode Terran, which means that I have absolutely no idea. Or well, no, he's an unranked Barcode Terran, which means I have no idea how good this guy is. Could be my MMR, could be significantly lower, or whatever, you know? I absolutely no idea. Now, what build do I want to do? I have been a little conflicted by my last series against Special. And the biggest reason for that is that I really like my super aggressive builds, right? But the thing is, since Terran players tend to play very aggressive against Protoss in general, they don't want to let Protoss macro up for free. Makes a lot of sense. I don't really get to execute these build orders for the most part. Like, I'm always kind of stuck back at home defending. Or no, I should put it right. I don't stay at home defending, and then I die, because I should be. So I would really like to find a strategy where I am allowed to move out, right? More than anything else. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe I should go for like more standard openings, and then after that, kind of go for like a build order where, you know, I do something really crazy. Like, something that comes to mind is maybe going for like a 2-base DT drop, for example. Like, that seems like something that's really fun to play with, but, you know, does give me like somewhat of a normal opening. In my head, that opening is always a little bit greedy, though, so I'm not quite sure if that does work out, but I guess we'll see. Now, one thing... Wait, he is Terran, right? Okay. Kind of weird that he hasn't scouted me yet. That's crazy. Feels really weird to go from a game where I get 12 pulled to a game where my opponent doesn't even scout me. I guess, you know, there's always a chance that they're just... You know, what do they call it? Expecting my cheese. I was going to say experimenting, but expecting my cheese. And all they do is try to defend rather than actually, you know, scout my base and play a macro gamer or whatever. So here's the Reaper. This Reaper shouldn't do anything. I think he's... No, okay. I was sure he was going to try to jump back up, but he didn't. Now, there is a... He can jump up here. Like, it's not a perfect wall. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can get it some damage. Barely not going to kill that, unfortunately. I'm going to shade this one out. Now, I do really like the idea of going for the triple adept, and the biggest reason I like that idea is just because it's good against like all of those early game units besides Cyclones. Oh, here we go. Gonna be able to kill that. Yeah, very nice. Okay. Besides Cyclones, they're good against everything. So like those annoying Reaper Hellion things or whatever, it should all be pretty good at defending against that. So maybe I should just shade these across the map, mostly to get a scout more than anything else. Excuse me, more to get a scout than anything else. And at home, I'm going to start my extra gate and my robo, kind of try to get ready for that 4-gate blink attack that I want to be doing. At least that's the plan. Now, where do I position my pylon so I can defend drops the easiest? That's the question. There's a Widowmine there. That means that there's at least no Cyclone. Let's see what I can find. More Widowmines. Okay, so it looks like we're just going to be playing against a double or triple Widowmine drop, I suppose. Let's see, did he take it away yet? No, it's still there. Then I still have a little bit of a cold. Sorry if I sometimes have to like cough or something. I also feel like my voice cracks even more than usual because I have a cold, which is kind of funny. So I don't have any Stalkers at home yet, which is the most worrying thing about all of this, because it's going to be quite hard to defend Widowmines if you don't have, you know, any Stalkers, obviously. Now I am going to try to be smart, and this time actually try to defend the attack that's incoming instead of just YOLOing everything across the map. I'm going to shade this one away. I can probably get a good amount of trades here, actually. Look at this. I think I'm going to get 3 Marines for 1 Adept. That's quite nice. Okay. I haven't seen a Widowmine yet. That is quite notable, I have to say. Could be coming into the main base as well, of course. Okay. Do I need many more probes? I think I have enough probes, actually. I should probably cut probes right now, because I'm going to keep these 2 at the front. Yeah, like, I'm a little scared because I have been conditioned now to just defend the attack first. I mean, that's the biggest mistake I make with Protoss. So I defend the attack first, and then I go. But nothing is coming, so that makes... Okay, there we go. So that makes it a little bit annoying, right? I'm just going to pull all of these away. Oh, he's gonna... Oh, no, I don't think you want to be doing that, my friend. There we go. That's going to die instantly. I can even defend this without losing a single probe. Okay, so it looks like we are making the right decision here by just defending this first, basically. And that is awesome. So I'm not going to lose anything to this. Going to make sure... Oh, he's trying to scan for the observer. That's funny. That's a really cool move. That's a move that I would make, to be honest, so that is pretty awesome. You know, I am a little bit low on gas, because I did have to pull those away for too long. Maybe it's smarter to just trigger the Widow Mine with probes. Let's see, what do I see over here? There's a tank over there. Okay, that's good knowledge. Maybe it's smart to trigger the Widow Mine first with the probes instead of waiting for the Stalkers with the Observer to clean it up. Just so I can mine gas a little faster. Like, I think that makes sense. Okay, so this attack is gonna hit a little slower. I do know exactly where the tank is, so I think I'm just gonna go for that, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna let these shades finish this time, and then I'll just blink right on top of the tank. That's the plan. Okay, here we go. The tank should die instantly. There we go. The tank is gonna die, and then I should have had my prism with this. That's a little bit of a mistake by me. It's still gonna be okay though, but I definitely should have had my prism here. Okay, let's just do some micro. I'm gonna warp in a couple more Stalkers, of course. I didn't have my Observer in a good spot. That's also a little bit of a mistake. Then at home, I'm gonna start charge and probably 8 extra gateways. That seems about fair. I'm gonna see this over here. He doesn't have his units at position, so this is gonna be a little painful for him. Yeah, this is gonna be these are exactly the trades you want. You just want to get like these free trades over and over, basically. That's exactly what you want. I'm gonna get extra gateways. Okay, well, this definitely looks like my best execution yet. I'm gonna try to kill that with one shot. Oh, barely didn't get it in one hit. That is unfortunate. So I'm gonna take a little more damage. Still gonna be pretty good trade after all, though. So I'm not too unhappy with that. Gonna keep warping in Stalkers. Not quite sure if I've killed enough probes. How many gates do I have? I have 8 gates and I have 52 probes, which is pretty decent. I'm pretty tempted to just try and get even more done, but it's also a little crazy, right? He doesn't have upgrades yet, which is nice for me. Let's get one more probe in his main mineral line, because it looks nice. I think I'm going to go for 2 Immortals, just because I saw a hero do that. That's one of the best Protoss players in the world. I saw him go for 2 Immortals, and then he would hit another timing attack with 2 Immortals. I do really like that idea. Okay, so he's going to kill my Observer. Oh, you can definitely tell that... Wait, I heard him load up. But I think I should probably go to the left here. Because let's see. I did hear him load up something, right? So I should be able to see it. Okay, there, exactly. There he is. That's what I thought. Maybe I can get a something with this. That would be nice. See a little bit of micro. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Okay, is he gonna... I can totally kill all of this, by the way. If he wants to stick around. Let's see. Okay. Oh, no. There we go. Gotta kill the medevacs first, of course. There we go. I'm gonna kill them now. I was just about to siege the prism, and then the freaking marine started stimming forward. So that was very, very dangerous. Gonna kill them before the prism dies. I can. That is awesome. Okay. Now this game is definitely getting a little tricky here. This is gonna be super low HP, but we did get the medevacs, which is nice. I'm gonna go for a 4th base as well. Get another immortal here. Now, the funny thing with Protoss is that I always feel like I'm banking so much money, but that's just kind of how Protoss works, because you make all of your units at once, right? So I'm always like, oh no, my macro has been awful, but then you do like one warp and you're like, okay, looks fine again. So I'm gonna go for a 4th base. I guess making a Robo Bay in this situation would be the right choice. I do have a bunch of Zealots over here. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's a... Okay, I'm not quite sure why he's scanning there, because I did kill his medevacs. I would imagine that he's not quite ready to attack here yet. I do want to attack at the front for sure and kind of get like a really big warp in at the same time. Okay, that looks like... Wait, is that just his 3rd base? I hope not for him, because that would be a little painful. Okay, but that looks like there's an attack heading towards my base. There's a really big warp in his base at the same time. Let's see. Okay, so there's a lot. Wait, can I maybe bait those Widow Mines? Barely not. That would be awesome if I could. So he's going to kill that, and now I'm going to attack at the front instead. I'm going to try to kill this. Those Zealots are going to be doing fantastic, by the way. Now, my Immortals are lagging a bit behind, but I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Now, Rapid Fire here would definitely be very, very nice. I mean, this game... My 4-gate blinks look freaking insanely strong, doesn't it? Let's see. Oh, I probably should have warped Stalkers instead there. My 4-gate blink looked insanely strong, and that I mean, it's a build that I really wanted to be good with, but I didn't feel good with all this time. But all right, this was awesome. Okay, guys, I really like this. And I'm telling you guys, since I lost against Special in that horrible best of 3 where I played Protoss, I really wanted to improve. And this definitely looked a lot better. Like, the 3 Adepts kept me very safe. Even if I would play against a double gas or an early aggression, they would have kept me very safe. And then going into the 4-gate blink after... I think is perfectly fine. Like, I'm not gonna get annihilated just trying to move across the map, but getting attacked at the same time. Like, it actually feels like a very nice sequence. And then I did the right thing, waiting for his harassment to come and then moving out. That's the biggest lesson I learned in all my games. It happened against Special. It happened against I'm not sure what the other Terran was, but I feel like it happened a lot of times. It's just very, very often. Oh, it was against Chaos, actually. It was a game that wasn't on video. It was against Chaos, where if they harass me and I just kind of try to all in and not go for it, it's always bad. But this game, notice I was very patient and I did a little bit of damage here and there, and it worked out perfectly. Super, super happy with my Protoss this episode. This makes me believe that we truly can get rank 1, and that's awesome. But that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys had a fantastic time. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Adios.